Hey, what's up guys? LukeProfits. I just wanted to come back here with another quick entrepreneurial kind of tip, and this one's going to be a short one I think, but it's just that if you're trying to sell something, you really need to be convinced that it's a good product. If you are not convinced that the product you're selling is good or the best option for someone, it's going to be impossible to sell. You've got to honestly and truly deeply believe that the product that you are offering to somebody is better than any of the other stuff that they're looking at. Because if it's not, it's going to be very, very, very difficult to sell. When you're selling something, what you're not trying to do is say, here is this thing, you should buy it because it has these features. What you're trying to do is you're trying to figure out what is wrong. You know, if you're trying to sell somebody a pen, they don't want the pen. They don't need to know that, ooh, it's a nice pen. It's a pretty pen. It'll feel great in your hand. You need to know what is the purpose of the pen, right? If the purpose is, I need to sign these papers to buy a car or a house or whatever, something like that, then the solution isn't, oh, hey, you need this pen. Look, this pen is fancy. Don't you? Isn't this nice, right? What your solution is, you need a signature there, and this pen will do it. You want to buy the pen? If they want to sign that thing and they don't have other options, they're going to buy the pen, right? You're selling them the solution. You're not selling them the object, pretty much. Now, another thing. Now, I know I said this pen. I just said it's not that this pen looks so fancy, but that could be another thing. If you're selling some sort of luxury kind of pen and people are like coming in and looking at pens because they want to feel fancy when they're signing stuff, they want to feel like, ooh, look at me, I'm using an expensive pen. Look at me, I'm such a fancy dude. Then that could be a reason. If an ego thing and they want to feel really fancy when signing stuff, then maybe you could sell a pen by saying, look at how fancy this pen is. You're going to look so great when you're selling this pen. You're going to feel like a baller because you're using this super fancy pen. But it's not, again, it's what you're selling there is not the pen. What you're selling is the feeling of being a really fancy boy when you're using the pen. You're not selling the pen, you're selling that feeling of the fanciness of using the pen. And if you're selling a hammer, you're not generally selling a hammer and saying, look, this hammer's great, it has these features. What you're saying is, look, this hammer has these features. That means that these other things aren't a problem. What you're selling is like, say it's a heavier hammer, right? You're not saying, great, it's a heavier hammer, cool, that's a neat thing. What you're saying is it's a heavier hammer, so it'll drive stuff in easily. So, when you're pounding on the wall there and it's difficult and, your arm's getting sore and stuff like that. And with a lighter hammer, you might be bang, 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 and you're having to hit it 20 times to get it into the wall. But if you use this heavier hammer, bam, 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 and it's done. 3 hits, you're done, right? So what you're selling, again, there is not the hammer, ooh, what a nice little feature. What you're selling is that annoyance of having to hammer and hammer and hammer. We can take that away if you just buy this heavier hammer. So kind of an interesting thing that I just wanted to point out. If you're not convinced of the product that you're selling, if you're not convinced that the product that you're selling is the solution to whatever the problem that the person has, you're going to have a really hard time selling stuff. But if you realize that what you're selling is the solution to the problem and you have to figure out what problem, this thing really is the solution for, then you just like, once you're convinced that this product is the solution to whatever that problem is, then anybody who has that problem, you can just say, hey, this is the solution to your problem. This is why I know it's the solution. I've done all this. Like you just convince them, just like you convinced yourself that this product is the best, the best thing to use, better than anything else out there to fix this problem. You just, deliver that information to them, and then they're going to say, wow, if that's a problem that they're willing to pay to have fixed, they're going to be like, wow, that does totally solve the problem. I see what you're saying. It is better than anything else. It solves that problem. And then they're just going to give you their money because you're selling the solution to the problem. You're not selling, the product itself, if that makes sense. So I guess this is kind of similar to another video that I made, but this one specifically more that just, you have to be convinced that your product is the solution to that problem. If you're thinking in the back of your mind, this is a pretty good product, but there are 3 other better products out there, it's going to be so hard to sell because you're trying to convince them that yours is the best when you don't really even think it's the best yourself. You're not going to have a very easy time of selling stuff that you're not convinced of, unless the other person sort of convinces themselves on their own that this is the best product product while you're just trying to be like, but it's not really the best product, but you should buy it because, you know. Anyway, guys, that's it for the video. If you're new to dropshipping on Facebook, I've got a full free set of training videos down there, link in the description, that go over everything you need to know to start making money online. I also have a Facebook account management service where me and my team work on your account and get it up to making several $1,000s profit a month. We totally handle everything so that it's passive for you, and you get to keep 30% of the profits, and then we get 70% of the profits. If that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, basically just me and my team managing your account, go ahead and go to LukeProfits.com/manage, and I'll be in touch. I also do one-on-one Facebook dropshipping training, and if that's something that you'd be interested in, you can go to LukeProfits.com/apply, and I will hit you back. I post new content on this channel every couple days, so go ahead and subscribe and hit the notifications, and I'll be back here with another video in a couple days.